Welcome to Money in the Air, the music podcast about neighboring rights, the royalties you earn from the public performance of your recordings and the business of music in general. Brought to you by IAFAR, the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders. I'm Andrew, a royalty consultant helping artists to collect on their value.
Hi, I'm Gina Deacon. I work for Absolute Rights Management and I work with record labels and artists to ensure we claim the royalty income due to them.
I'm Stacey Haber and I'm from Inside Baseball Music Publishing.
Hi, I'm Tanya Oliveira. I work for Transparence Entertainment Group. I focus on World X USA neighbouring rights on the performer side and rights holder side.
Welcome back, everyone. On today's episode of Money in the Air, we're going to be doing a debrief of our very first Neighbouring Rights Conference, where we had a host of panelists speak from the various CMOs around the world. We covered topics such as neighbouring rights for film and television, the importance of metadata, and dispelling any myths about studio producers and how they can collect on this income stream. Today, we have myself, Andrew, Stacey, and Tanya to provide the recap. So are the recordings of the conference going to be posted anywhere afterwards, or was it completely live?
No, everything is recorded. There were some that were virtual only anyway. Everything will be in the member section on the IAFAR website, and there will be a way for other people to view it just by buying the download. Because not everybody needs to be a member of IAFAR because they don't work in neighboring rights or aren't representing someone in neighboring rights or not making their own music or sounds. But they still need to know. This way they can learn. And kudos to the Phoenix Arts Club because their hospitality is beyond measure. Oh, and the quiz, the carousel quiz in the evening was so much fun. Big shout out to Chris Sheehan who organized that, as he always does.
Yeah, he is the ultimate quiz master. He's just so funny and so witty and full of wisdom as well, because he's been in the music business for decades in so many different roles, advocating for change, being an artist himself, being an engineer in the studio, producer, so much. Multifaceted guy. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about the CMO panel that closed out the Tuesday session, and thought it was so informative, and it was so heartwarming to see all of these different CMOs just together on a big screen digitally. Yeah, they shared a lot of knowledge, and I think they were teaching each other things too. I've always been a fan of AIE in Spain, but I'm even more so.
It was a very interesting panel as well because it was just bare and it was raw. People were put on the spot, questions, and gave helpful answers. We have a better understanding of what they're up against, how we can work with them and help them better, and why the barriers that exist. So that was really interesting. And sometimes it's not the society's fault. Sometimes it's government's fault. That's interesting.
That's a really good point. I think sometimes CMOs can receive a lot of flack and frustration, and it's their hands are tied because it's their local legislation.
Yeah, but they're doing their best and we really appreciate that. Interesting about the ownership of CMOs as well, how it varies from territory to territory.
Some of them are nonprofits and some of them are member owned.
That's right. Yes. And that's really impressive. And some of them will take on people trying to stop neighboring rights. So they'll be the entity bringing the court cases, which is just so powerful. I mean, Spain, for example, that's just the fact that they are championing the performers. I love that. That's truly performer-led. Very impressive. Good panel. And in fact, that's where I learned a lot on that panel. I learned a little on every panel, even the ones I was on, but really, really impressive. And then the one-on-ones the next day, the questions were so targeted and so spot on that I was glad we were all there because people wanted to know how to do their business better. And we could tell them. That just makes me enormously proud. Thank you so much for letting me talk about it. Well, that's a short one for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. And remember, go to www.iafar.co.uk, that's IAFAR.co.uk, and become a member because your income depends on it.